Hey guys, I'm just out here in the garage in the shop, just getting ready for the next tournament down at Santee, and getting ready for one of probably my favorite times of the year is shallow cranking in the spring. We're coming up on the pre-spawn. Our lakes are really shaping up good this spring. We don't get a lot of stained clear. Our lakes are really clear here in the upstate of South Carolina, and this year we've had a lot of rain. We've had a lot of snow. We've had a lot of ice, and the creeks are staining up really good, so I'm looking forward to all the shallow cranking that I'm going to be able to do this spring, just because we've got good stained water and you're going to be able to get that reaction bite really good, just simply because water clarity is not as good as it usually is. One of my favorite crankbaits to throw is a handmade balsa crankbait. In particular, the Rainbow Baits makes one called the Hammer, and it's a balsa crankbait. Deflects off wood really good, has a really tight wiggle, which is important this time of year because the fish are just coming off the main lake. Our fish are heavily migratory here. We don't have a lot of resident fish that stay shallow. We do have a population that stays shallow, but we have a lot of migratory fish. And so they're just coming off the main lake right now, and they're really lethargic because the water's still in the 40s. We've had a lot of snow and ice and sleet and everything else that you could have bad. We've had it this past winter. But the Rainbow Baits Hammer is a small profile bait. You can see it here. It has a computer chip bill in it, so it's a real durable bait. No, balsa crankbaits are really bad about lasting, especially if you're catching fish or if you're banging against rock. They're bad about only getting about a fishing trip out of it before the lip falls out of it or the back end busts out of it. Donnie at Rainbow, he does a really good job of putting a good epoxy coat on them. Puts a lot of clear on them, so it makes the bait heavier for one, and that makes it throw really good. As you know, handmade crankbaits, balsa crankbaits can be really hard to throw if it's windy out there, but since this bait's a little bit heavier, it throws really good. You can throw it on casting equipment with, I usually don't like to go much heavier than 12-pound test line. That's just helped me get distance on it more than anything. So that's one good plus about it. And they deflect off of structure really well. Anytime you're shallow cranking it, you want to be in contact with the rocks, with the wood, or even if it's just the bottom. You want to stay in contact with whatever you're fishing, and they really deflect off, and they can get you that reaction bite just by the way that it deflects off of wood. And I think that balsa deflects a little bit different than any of your other crankbaits, any of the ejected molded crankbaits or anything else. So I think just that little different profile in a handmade crankbait, and just that the way it deflects off of structure will make the difference and get you that extra bite that you'll need in a tournament. Anytime I'm pre-spawn fishing this time of the year, I like to target, of course you're fishing shallow. When I say shallow, around here I'm talking anything less than 8 foot or so. I like to concentrate on channel swings. Anytime you've got a creek channel swing, or if it's just a little feeder creek swing inside a cove or a pocket, anywhere it swings in close to the bank, anywhere where it swings under a dock, or if it swings close to a point, those are the areas that I like to target. I like to target points in channel swings, and also the best thing to target, if you can find it, is rock. Any kind of chunk rock, even if it's a point on a rip wrap or chunk rock, I like those. Other thing I like to try to fish is the last deep water before you get to a spawning flat. So if you go into the back of a creek and it's got a huge spawning flat, just that last deep hole, that last 7 or 8 foot hole before you get to the flat is where you're going to have all those pre-spawn females. They'll pre-spawn in that deep water before they go to the back to spawn. So those are the areas that I like to target. So if you see me out tournament fishing, I can guarantee you this time of the year for the next month or so, I'm probably going to have a crankbait in my hand. For its colors, what I like, I'm really simple when it comes to colors. If you're looking for somebody that's going to tell you need about 300 different colors, I'm not going to be the guy. I like to keep it simple. I think the profile of the bait and the way that it works and deflects off of structure is what gets you the bite. I'm not really, color does matter to a certain extent. There's no doubt about that. But I don't like to overcomplicate things. That's just the kind of fisherman I am. I'm just a simple guy. If it gets complicated, I'd rather just go to work if it's going to be that complicated where I've got 300 colors. But I like to stick with crawdads, brown and white crawdad in particular. This is his crawdad color. It's got a little bit of orange on the belly. Some guys like a lot of orange. I like just a little bit of orange. I like to stick with any shad color. This is Gray Ghost, just a gray back. If you can see the gray back here with just a white belly. Very simple. And I like black and chartreuse. Those three colors pretty much get me through any water clarity that I have, whether it's 3 inches or if it's just a few 6 foot visibility. Those three colors will give me some kind of option, and I can catch the fish with those three colors. So go to rainbowbaits.com, check out his baits. He's also a great painter. If you've got some old baits that are rusted out, or if you've got some baits that the fish just knocked the paint off of them, send them to Dunny. He'll give you a good. He'll make them look brand new. He'll give them a new paint job. Or if you've got some new baits you found on a clearance rack and it's not the colors that you want, send them to Dunny. He can paint them in your favorite colors, and you'll have a good bait. So look forward to seeing you guys out there this spring. Let's go out there and catch them. It's going to be a really good year. The lakes are really tuning up to look real nice this year with all the rain we've had and the stains. So I look forward to seeing you guys out there. Check out my website, MaronLatimerFishing.com.